Hello lovelies, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if this is the first time of stopping by. I say welcome, you're highly welcome. Please hit on the subscribe button, join the growing family. To my old subscribers, I say thank you for all your support. I really appreciate them. So for this today's tutorial, we'll be making this beautiful style for our princesses. Please watch to the end, and I will see you at the end of the video. So for this style, I'll be cutting the front and the back bodies together. My fabric is folded into four, and the down part of it have 1 inch allowance for the zipper allowance. So for the cutting part, I'll be deducting 4 inches from the total half length, which is 11 inches minus 4. That's what I'm marking now, because it's more like an off shoulder kind of style. So from the center front where I just showed you now, and not from the zipper allowance, I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. I'm going to mark my shoulder measurement, which is 12 divided by 2, which is 6 inches. And remember, my markings is going to start from 4 inches, so that's why the armhole measurement is short. Then I marked my shoulder measurement as well, which is 12 divided by 2. That's what I just marked, and I connected the line. So at the armhole line, I'm going to insert my bust measurement, which I just did, and then I inserted my waist measurement. All the measurements will be in the description box, please check it out. And then I connected my armhole line. The next thing I'm going to do is to where I'm showing you is where I'm going to attach a base for the sleeve, and then I'm going to cut it out. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please, what are you waiting for? Please join the growing family. We have beautiful styles coming for our princesses, and we have more in the channel already. So I went ahead to cut out the label on the ankara fabric. So I'm going to cut out the two of the front bodies, and also for the back bodies. I do not have lining. If you have lining, you can use it to lining this, but since I don't have lining, I'm going to cut out the fabric together into the two different places, and use one to turn the other one. And I'm going to turn just the neckline, because the armhole, I'm still going to attach my sleeve there. So I'm going to go ahead and sew just the neckline, and this is it. After sewing, I'm going to turn it to the right side, and then use my iron to lay it flat as much as I can. So after ironing it, I'm going to go ahead and measure. I'm going to cut out where I just show you the excess there. I measure for my sleeve, and from what I have there, I have 4 inches. So the 4 is for the front and 4 for the back, which is 8 inches. I'm going to add 1 inch allowance for the joining, making it 9 inches. And for the width, I cut on fold 4 inches there. So I'm going to go ahead and sew the side together. That place I'm going to stitch together is where it's going to be at the armhole side to attach my sleeve. So I'm going to attach it at the neckline, into the two neckline, and then stitch it down, then attach it to the back as well. So the next thing I'm going to do is to cut out my flay. So for this flay, my fabric is folded into four. You're going to fold the first one into a triangular form, then fold it backward. I wanted to fold it with the camera, but it's going to occupy so much space, so that's why I folded it off camera, and I then showed you. So I first of all marked 4 inches there, and then measure each round, and it's okay for the measurement. You're going to measure that round measurement, that first circle. If it's the same measurement, that's your waist measurement divided by 4. If it's the same thing, then you can go ahead and cut the length of the flay. But if it's not okay, you measure more or you reduce it depending on what you have. Then I went ahead to cut it out for my flay. So for the sleeve, I'm going to go ahead and cut the sleeve. When you look at the sleeve, you see that it has some gathers there, so I'm going to cut this sleeve to be to have a wider length. That I doubled my measurements, and I added for the length, I marked my length and I added about 4 inches allowance for it because of the style. I'm going to show you guys why I added about 4 inches there. Then I connected the line for the armhole. Then for the cap side, I'm going to go down by 3 inches there, and then make a, remember this is just a freehand cutting. I'm going to make a curve that looks like a S there, and then I'll go ahead and cut it out, and then transfer this one to the other side of the ankara and cut the remaining side of the sleeve out. So I was done stitching the armhole area. The next thing is to fold the sleeve, down part of the sleeve. So for the, I'm going to fold this with 3.5 inches because I'm going to use half inch to join the upper side of the sleeve. So I'm going to fold half inch first and then make a big fold, because the reason for this is I'm going to stitch the upper part, then stitch the down part, leaving a space in between it to add my elastic. I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. I have 2 stitches there. One is at the end of the folding to hold down the fold, then the other one is more like at the middle of the fold to pass my my elastic through it. So I went ahead to pass the elastic, stitch it at the end, then remove the pin from the other end and then stitch it down. And this is it after stitching. Hope you can see the effect of it there, that made me to have 2 stitches there. So the next thing I'm going to do is to stitch this to the bodice. I'm going to go ahead and lay this flat, arrange it well. After arranging it, then I'll go ahead and get the and notch the center of the armhole, and notch the center of the armhole, then notch the center of the bodice where I'm going to attach the notch the center of the sleeve, notch the center of the armhole and then place the two bits where I just notched together together with my pin, and then I'm going to also pin the end of the sleeve to the bodice as well, and then the excess at the middle I'm going to gather it into this armhole. I hope you guys understand what I'm trying to say. I'm going to gather this in, making sure that all fabrics that remain is within the sleeve, within the armhole. When I was done stitching the armhole down, which I just showed you, the next thing I'm going to do is to arrange the bodies together and then pin my zipper allowance. I don't want to sew this down yet because that's where I'm going to do the remaining work. So I pinned it down and then stitched the two sides with my measurements. I'm going to measure the waist and the bust to your actual measurement, and this is it after stitching it down. I think I had a little bit of more excess. I had to trim it off. I don't like too much excess there, though I like leaving allowance in case of any adjustment, but it was much. I had to trim it off. So for the flare, I'm going to go ahead and open this place, one side of it, which is going to be at the back for the zipper side of it. So I opened it up. The next thing I'm going to do is to lay the bodice down and then attach my flare to it. And most times while cutting my flare, I like leaving a little bit of allowance there to have a little bit like 1 inch or 2 inches allowance at the flare. This is not already made, so there's no there's nothing wrong with leaving a little bit of allowance. And I'm going to plait this at the seam side of it. This is the reason for this, is so that if there's any adjustments of maybe the client added a little bit of weight, you can easily lose it and make use of the allowance. So I'm going to go ahead and measure the down part of the flame to cut out the fabric for gathers, and the flare is about 100 inches, so this is about 200 inches. Is a lot, right? Is a lot. So the first thing I did is to serge the or weave, whichever language you understand, serge or weave the upper part of it, just like I showed you now, and then I joined the two fabric together, stitch it down, and this is the fabric. Is a lot. I think I have a little bit of remain after about 15 to 20 inches remaining. I didn't gather it so much, so I went ahead to fold the down part of the rough edges of it. I folded it in with my allowance, and then for the flare, I'm going to go ahead and place this flare together to get the center of it. I'm going to notch it and then notch the other one, the 200 inches fabric one. I had to do that off camera because the fabric is so long, so I had to do it off camera, notch it as well for at the center of it. Okay, so after notching the flare and the gather part of it, I'm going to place the two notches together and then secure it with my pin to keep it in place. And when you look at what I'm doing, you see that the one I'm going to use to gather is 1 inch above the flare. It's not the same length with the flare, so it's 1 inch above the where I'm going to sew it, to stitch it. And so that's what I did. I went ahead to make a little bit of pleats. I use pleats, just little bit of it. What, like when you look at it, you think that it's gathers, but just little bit of pleat to stitch this down. And this is it. After stitching it down, the next thing I'm going to do is to place the two back piece together and then stitch this down, leaving my zipper allowance to attach my zipper. So I decided to give a little bit of design to it, wishy. So I just cut out a fabric of about 1 inch. Then this can be as long as you want it. Folded it in, stitch the rough edges, and this is it. After stitching, I have 2 of it, so I'm going to measure from the armhole down 2 inches, stitch this down, and I'm going to do the same thing for the upper and for the other side of it, stitch it down, and I stitch it very well, very strong, because these are children, they can drag this and it will come off immediately. So when I have something like this, like, or the belt, I stitch it out as much as I can. I hope you enjoyed this video. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Please give me a thumbs up, share my videos to family and friends, share my videos, subscribe to my channel if you haven't subscribed to my channel, and I will see you in my next video. Bye bye.